You're not going to watch this video and just magically be as good as Craig Mullins. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a study and I'm going to kind of analyze some of Craig Mullins' work, and I'm going to do a 1.5 to 2 hour study, and I'm going to take you through my thoughts and my feelings during that study. I already recorded it, and you can kind of tell at the end I'm feeling a little bit defeated. But after I did this study, I did another drawing, and I did that one completely from scratch. I composed it from scratch, and it was kind of me in a way targeting that Craig Mullins look you're gonna see at the end of this video. I went into that drawing with I'm gonna try to do this as how Craig Mullins would maybe do it. I'm gonna try to give it a lot of nice texture and not go too crazy with the details, but make it look like it's crazy with the details. That thing that Craig Mullins does and all the amazing artists do. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. So yeah, we're gonna get into this video, and I'm just gonna kind of drop you in, and you're gonna be there with me in the present with my thoughts, my feelings, everything there. And yeah, it's just gonna be a very raw video in general, so I hope you stick around for it, and I hope you enjoy the video. What we want to do here is just plan everything and make sure everything lines up pretty well, pretty accurately. We want to get those big shapes in, and we want to make sure that they're in the right position. Composition is a huge factor here. The hardest part about this right now is I feel like I'm not really learning anything, and it just feels like I'm wasting my time here. I feel like I'm just copying an image. You have to trust that you're actually learning something. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I just have to trust the process and hope that I'll actually learn something. I'm getting ready to wrap this study up, but after the study, I'm going to do another drawing, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to take you through the process of that, and we're going to see if I actually learned anything, which I think I did. It's still hard to tell, but yeah, maybe if I look back in a couple of months, we'll see that I have actually learned something from this study. Though I do think I'm going to do a couple more studies of his in the future. So I honestly don't know if I'm going to go any further than this, because I really feel like I'm just in photocopy mode. So I don't know. I think I might just leave it at this. And you can see here that I spent 1 hour and 53 minutes on this. I think that's pretty fair for a study. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna do a study drawing. As you would expect, we're gonna start off with some thumbnails. And this can take quite a bit of time. It just depends on the person, the detail, and all of that. Once you get a lot of thumbnails, you're going to want to choose your favorite thumbnail, and usually you'll want to choose a couple of these and try a couple of different variants, but I really liked this one, so I chose this one, and I started to experiment with some colors. As you can see, my first idea was not very good, my second idea was better, and my third idea I liked the most, so we stuck with that one. You can see here I was doing some studies of hands in certain positions to try a few things, and then I really started to block in the detail. Now, this is not, I'm not really zooming in here and doing detail. I'm really zoomed out a lot, and I'm just using texture brushes and just experimenting and trying to throw some things in there. Right here, we're still not going crazy on the detail. We're working on this guard back here. Obviously I was zoomed in on the guard at that time, but yeah, we were working on that guard, and if you zoom in, there's not a whole lot of detail, but it looks like there's a ton of detail. And the same goes for that maid there, that servant. Looks like there's a lot of detail, but there's really not. And then same with this character here in the robes. It's not really much detail at all. We're using texture brushes, and we're kind of going in there and filling things out. It really helps. To get that effect, I learned you really want to take texture brushes, and you're going to want to do a lot of layers with the texture brush to get different looks. It can be overwhelming, and it's really trusting the process a lot. But yeah, you're going to take texture brushes, you're going to, change that opacity, you're going to lower it to 50%, maybe even 25%, and you're going to just do a bunch of layers and experiment with different textures to get that effect you're going for. Now, this is the image that I came up with. I think it looks pretty good. I do think it is a step up above my other work, and the total time I spent on this was 14 hours and 53 minutes or something to that extent. So a decent amount of time. I'm sure if I went into more detail, I would spend a lot more time. One thing I do want to experiment with is doing something like this again, except I want to have more like maybe elements in there, like maybe some kind of desk or table with just a bunch of junk on it, something like this. Now I don't want to copy this image exactly, but I do love this image. Like, this has got to be one of my favorite works of art from Craig Mullins. You can zoom in all you want. Those characters are not detailed at all, and I tried to bring a little bit of that into that last painting that I just did. I'm sure you can maybe see a little bit of influence there, but yeah, I just love how many characters there are, how it looks like they're really lived in. Like, you can know probably what's going on here. There's probably some sort of council meeting going on about maybe an ongoing war or a war that's about to happen. You can tell they've been there for quite a while. They have a lot of stuff on the table. They got some wine, a lot of stuff there. And then obviously the guards in the background. So we could probably tell that they were in a war or about to be in a war, or something is going down. Man, I just love his work so much. That's a big part of it. You gotta be able to tell a story in your art. That's one thing that I definitely learned from this Craig Mullins study, is looking back on it, I can tell now, like, yeah, that is a huge part of his work. Not only is it the textures and things like that, but it's the fact that if you look at his work, you can immediately know, okay, what's going on? What happened? What is maybe about to happen? Things like that. And that is huge. I have definitely got to start doing that in my own artwork. And I am working on another piece right now, which I can't show you yet, but here soon, I'm hoping I can show you it, and I'm going to implement that into this next one. So maybe there's a part 2 to this video. I am so glad that I did this study. It did open my eyes. I learned, honestly, so much. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, all of that stuff. It helps me out so much. I am a small channel, 77 subscribers, and I'm trying to grow. So yeah, help me out. And if you find this content engaging or helpful, let me know. If you don't find it helpful, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. Everything is helpful here. Just comment away and let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in probably a week or 2.